So ladies and gentlemen, let me explain. I'm here on behalf of the Expiry Party, a new political party calling for the immediate criminalisation of reproduction. The reason for this is because reproduction is actually at the root of all of the world's problems, on the macro scale and on the micro scale. Now, this is true and a very important piece of information for each and every one of you, especially if your parents are still alive and have some money. You can claim compensation from them because they are the reason for all your problems. Without your parents, you wouldn't have any problems. It's a very simple piece of legislation, and it can save the country trillions of pounds. Think about how much the NHS spends every year. 700,000 people come into this country every year. They're not from Eastern Europe, not from America, not from Africa, not from Mexico, no, from the hospitals. They're born. 700,000 people born every year that we all have to fund. We all have to pay for their schooling, and then they're going to end up like the adults here. They're very cute now, the kids. Look at them, gorgeous little kids now. Look, that one there, very cute. But he's not going to stay that way, is he? He's going to end up like this lot here. And therefore, we've got to put a stop to it. Nobody seems to be thinking about the future generations. They're just going on and on, people reproducing just because they like the feeling. But it's just not worth it, is it? Just think how much money your parents could have saved if they would have taken precautions. Hundreds of thousands of pounds if your parents didn't have you. They'd have a holiday home in the south of France, and now all they've got is you. And that's why we have to call on the government. I wish we didn't. I wish people would realise and be able to think straight and think logically and realise that reproduction is very, very dangerous and it leads to all problems. But unfortunately, most people are too stupid to work that out for themselves, which is why we have to call upon the government to make reproduction illegal. Now, I'm not saying that people who break the law should be punished, because having the child is the punishment. It will be very unfair to punish someone who did that, who broke the law, on top of the punishment of having someone to look after for the rest of their lives.
Just move so I can see your face.
No problem.
Do you have any idea on you?
Would you advise me if I was asking for your advice and police were filming you? Would you advise me to talk to the police?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to advise you either way.
Right, because I'm just going to call my lawyer, because he tells me that when people in uniform come up to me, it's never a good idea, right, because anything that I say could be taken down and used and evidence against me, couldn't it?
It can be. We haven't cautioned you yet. What I will say though is some of what I've just heard you saying, and that's a public order offence. Okay.
Really? What I've just said is a public order offence.
It's been recorded.
Yeah.
You've insulted people's parents. You said you wouldn't want.
I've said that all of our problems are our parents' fault. Is that against the law to say that? Is that what you're saying?
You said that. You've then exaggerated.
Yeah.
You've then gone on to say that parents. I wouldn't want any of your parents to look at you like going into Pret a Manger where they have. I wouldn't want my parents to be the type of people that go into Pret a Manger and eat dead animals. Is that against the law to say that? It's borderline.
Is it borderline? Really? Is that what you're saying?
Really?
What happened about freedom of speech? I thought you were here to protect it. You
got freedom of speech, but at one point then, we haven't been here long, but at one point then, you were just here insulting people, okay?
Right.
It was causing people harassment.
Was it really?
It was. We've just been over there. We've just had a number coming up.
So you see, the thing is, what I'm going to do now is, because I really don't like the way you're behaving. I find it extremely. What I find funny about this, but what's your name?
PC Dyson.
Yeah, what's your first name?
Jim Dyson.
Jim. What's your first name?
Neil.
Neil, nice to meet you, Neil and Jim. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm going to breathe for about 30 seconds just to calm myself down, right? Because I feel really harassed by you, and I find it quite interesting.
That's fine.
I find it quite interesting that you're here claiming that you are trying to save people from harassment, when what you're doing right now is far more harassing than what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is
a
general.
Purpose, then
it's
it's
for
different.
oh, it's okay then.
There is actually an exemption in
Yeah,
law,
yeah,
so yes,
yeah.
it's
No, I
okay.
understand that. But okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm just going to breathe
Okay,
for
you
30
can do that.
seconds.
I'm going to speak to you while your eyes are closed. What I will say is that I don't want you insulting people's parents. I don't want you using some of the language you were just using then. I also don't want you having loud hailer as loud as it was just then, because it was very loud and that was causing people harassment, just the level of the noise. Okay? I don't mind you continuing to protest. You're allowed to protest, but if it goes beyond the point where it becomes a public order offence and it's causing people that much harassment, then we will be taking further action. Okay? Do you understand that? Thank you.
So I'm going to turn it down a little bit because these two guys over here have accused me of saying things that are, I don't know what exactly, are going to cause harassment. Is that right? So ladies and gentlemen, I take everything I said back. Please have as many children as you can. We need lots and lots of people here. You're all the best people to have children. I'm sure the world needs more and more people here, because we don't want to say anything to upset anybody in the world. It's very, very important. The people here in Richmond are very sensitive, obviously. I've turned it nice and down for you. Is that okay? You're all fantastic, wonderful people. I love you all, and you should have lots and lots of children. And I take back everything that I said. I'm really, really sorry. Seriously, guys, if anybody causes alarm, harassment and distress in society, surely it's you guys. I mean, of all the people that cause a...
Stop filming, please.
Yeah.
I'm just a member of the public. I don't appreciate being filmed.
Well, don't come up to me if you don't want to be
You're
filmed.
in a public place.
Yes, I can film if I want to.
No, you can't.
See, this guy's just come up to me and says, don't film me. He's in a public place, and he's come up to me and said, don't film me. If you don't want to be absolute... Oh, okay. Officers, did you hear what he just said? Yeah? How come you let him get away with that? Eh? How come you just let him get away with that? Oh, you're not going, are you? Oh, no. I was just enjoying it. And by the way, before you go, can you tell me, why do you steal so many drugs from us? They're the people that take the most drugs, the police. They take all our drugs. All the good ones. Leaving us with the dregs of sugar, caffeine, alcohol, which makes everyone in such a jittery position that they can't stand someone on the street, you know, opening up their consciousness to ideas that they haven't thought about properly.